Mona Kimura is one of the most exciting young fighters in kickboxing right now. Undefeated, 2 stoppages, and a highlight reel that's been spreading across every combat sports platform online. So when a more experienced South Korean fighter stood across from her at a press conference and said she wasn't even worth serious concern, it got people's attention. To understand why this moment hit so differently, you need to understand who Mona Kimura actually is. She doesn't look like a threat. Double buns, bright eyes, a smile that belongs on a cereal box. The internet took one look at her and immediately called her the real-life Chun-Li. And honestly, the comparison is hard to argue with. But underneath that image is one of the most technically complete strikers to emerge from Japan in years. Kimura didn't stumble into combat sports. She was built for it. She started boxing as a child, and by her teens, her jab was already at a professional level. At 18, she won Japan's national championship and went on to represent her country at the 2022 IBA Women's World Boxing Championships. On top of that, she had secured 7 consecutive titles at the JKJO All-Japan Junior Karate Championships, blending karate footwork and kicks with elite boxing technique into something that looked less like a fighting style and more like a cheat code. When she made the switch to professional kickboxing in late 2024, she didn't arrive as a prospect. She arrived as a problem. Her debut on November 16, 2024 lasted 1 round. Aogiwara never saw the right hand coming. KO done. Her second fight went the distance, but only because her opponent, Yuka, survived on heart alone. Bleeding from the nose, breathing heavy between rounds while Kimura stayed composed and surgical throughout. Unanimous decision, but it was her third fight that truly announced her to the world. Satoko Ozawa stepped into the ring with a reputation for toughness and forward pressure. She was determined, she was experienced, and she had every intention of walking through whatever Kimura threw at her. Kimura made her pay for every single step forward. Fighting out of a southpaw stance, she controlled the distance from the opening seconds. Side kicks and front kicks snapping out like a metronome, keeping Ozawa at the end of her range and making her look slow in the process. Every time Ozawa tried to close the gap, she walked into something sharp. Within the first minute of round 1, Kimura had already opened a cut on Ozawa's right cheek. Not from a wild shot, from a clean, precise left straight that landed exactly where she intended it to land. The crowd started to buzz. Ozawa kept coming. Credit where it's due, she didn't back down. But determination without answers is just a slow way to lose. And Kimura had answers for everything Ozawa brought. By the end of round 1, Ozawa's face told the whole story. The cut was bleeding, the pressure was mounting, and Kimura hadn't even broken a sweat. Round 2 started with the writing already on the wall. Kimura picked up exactly where she left off. Crisp left straights, dynamic side kicks, combinations that flowed from head to body and back again with the kind of rhythm that takes years to develop. A second cut opened around Ozawa's right eye. The referee called for a doctor's check. Ozawa insisted on continuing, but that decision only delayed the inevitable. The moment the fight restarted, Kimura walked straight back into her work. No hesitation, no mercy, more left straights, more kicks, more damage. The referee had seen enough. TKO, round 2, 108, 3 fights, 3 wins, 2 stoppages, and a highlight reel that was about to go viral across every combat sports platform on the internet. The real-life Chun-Li was no longer just a nickname, it was a warning. Which brings us back to the bully. Her name is Eun-Ji Choi, a South Korean fighter who started Muay Thai in 2011 and built a reputation on physical power and lead-hand aggression. When the matchup with Kimura was announced for K1 Genki 2026 on April 11th in Tokyo, Choi came in with confidence. Too much confidence. At the press conference, she made her feelings clear. She looked at Kimura's record, looked at her face, and decided that the undefeated prospect across from her wasn't worth serious concern. Kimura responded the only way she knows how. Not with words, with facts. I plan to show a clear difference in ability and win convincingly. Calm, direct, unbothered. Because here's the thing about Mona Kimura that her opponents keep learning the hard way. The smile is real, but so is the violence behind it. She doesn't need to shout. She doesn't need to perform. She just needs the bell to ring. And when it did, Choi found out exactly what every fighter before her had already discovered. The real-life Chun-Li doesn't just look the part, she plays it. Kimura controlled the fight from the outside, using her signature front kicks and side kicks to neutralize Choi's physical power and lead hand pressure. Every time Choi tried to impose herself, she was met with sharp counters and clean combinations that made her look exactly as outclassed as Kimura had promised she would be. The result was never really in doubt. Unanimous decision, Mona Kimura. Undefeated, unbothered, unstoppable. 4 fights, 4 wins, 0 losses, and a story that is only just getting started. Mona Kimura is still in the earliest stages of what looks like a very long career. The technical foundation is elite, the finishing ability is proven, and the mental composure, the ability to walk into a hostile press conference, absorb the disrespect, and then go out and make it look easy, that is the rarest quality of all. The question for the division is no longer whether Kimura belongs at the top. The question is who is brave enough to step up next. But whoever it is, they'd better come with more than confidence. Because confidence, as Yoonji Choi just found out, is not enough. Drop a comment. Do you think Mona Kimura has what it takes to become a K1 world champion? Let us know below. If you enjoyed this one, hit like and subscribe so you don't miss out on any of our future videos in the world of MMA. Until next time, stay sharp and keep swinging.